Before the Season 2 patch came out, a lot of us Ryu players, including myself, made a wish list of changes and buffs we think that Ryu needed. Some of us thought that maybe Capcom didn't know how to buff Ryu and they might make him too overpowered and they were scared to do that. But now Season 2 is here and we got a laundry list of changes, so naturally a lot of people have been asking me, yo AM, is Ryu good now? Is he viable? Should I play Ryu? Well, today I'm going to be going over the good, the bad, and why you should or shouldn't play Ryu. So let's start with the good first. I think one of the most under talked about change for Ryu was being able to combo from crouching medium kick into Denjin Hashigeki. It gets you a free escape out of the corner, you get some cool juggles off of it, and also go into your supers or go into a safe jump setup if you have the opponent near the corner. I can't tell you how many times I was able to escape just by fishing with crouching medium kick. So even though it's not a true block string, if your opponent is caught off guard and they block the Denjin Hashigeki, you're still plus. So you put them in a strike throw mix up and you're able to kind of keep your momentum going just by getting off that Denjin Hashigeki. So obviously one of the biggest changes that Ryu got was being able to hold your Denjin stock. Back in Season 1, whenever you charged up your Denjin, you were kind of left with no fireballs and you were forced to use the Denjin that one time and that was it. But now you're able to hold it and throw fireballs and keep your fireball game going as well too. That's one of the key ingredients that make Ryu Ryu, is being able to have that fireball game. I know a lot of people look at the fireball game like a zoning opportunity, but the way that I feel like fireball game should be used is really for poking and annoyance. The whole aspect of the fireball game is just fighting game theory in general. You throw fireballs, you bait your opponent to jump, you get the anti-air, and you rinse and repeat. So when Ryu lost that ability when he had Denjin stock back in Season 1, he was kind of left with his normals and he couldn't play that key game that he's always been playing for all of Street Fighter. Honestly, right now, it feels really good to play Ryu's fireball game because I'm able to keep up with other characters who have fireball game as well too. For example, when I fight Ga, when I have my Denjin stock, I'm able to keep up with him and also keep him on his toes as well too, because the OD Denjin fireball is crazy fast. And before, Ed was a problem because of his double fireball thing where he absorbs one and then throws one right back to you. It was really hard to keep up with the fireball game, but again, Denjin stock has been saving my life in those situations. And to be honest, when people are playing the fireball game with me with another fireball character, I could see that they're a lot more hesitant to throw fireballs whenever I have my Denjin stock and I'm still chucking out fireballs. So it feels great to always keep my opponents on their toes and really hesitant to fight back with fireballs. The most unexpected change was the buff to his back hard kick. That button was pretty useless and no one used that back in Season 1, but now you can use it for some goofy combo strings whenever you had to juggle. And plus, it lets you go into your supers a lot easier as well too, from Super 1 all the way to level 3. So even though that change was kind of goofy in my opinion, it's pretty useful when you want to go into your supers and you don't really have to time anything. You just have to make sure you get the full animation of the kick before you go into anything else. And now Ryu has a meterless safe jump setup in the corner. Back then you had to do some drive rush combo into heavy donkey kick in the corner in order to get the safe jump, but now you can kind of do it for free and loop your offense. So pretty much if you have your opponent in the corner and you end your combo string in a light donkey kick, you get a free safe jump afterwards and your opponent is stuck in a strike throw mix up over and over and over again, and it's really easy to hit confirm the light donkey kick too. The only thing for me is that I have to remind myself that it exists now. Back then I was so used to ending in light Tatsu into dash up light Hashigeki to get the +3, you know, but like it still loses to OD DP. But now I can keep going for the safe jump and keep mixing up my opponent over and over. They also buffed his standing hard punch as if that needed to get buffed. It just got better, and you guys know that's one of the best buttons for hit confirms into drive rush. You could go into a fat combo off of that, especially when you have them in the corner. They made some adjustments to how much meter you'll gain off of straight buttons like standing medium kick, but to be honest, I haven't really seen or felt the difference yet. Maybe I'm not using it enough, but pretty much when you do, like for example, stand medium kick and they block it, you gain a little bit more super meter than you did before. To be honest, when I play Ryu now, I feel like I'm playing a complete character. All of his toolkits work the way that I feel like it's supposed to work, and when I lose with Ryu, I don't really blame the character, I blame myself. You know, it could be just a lack of knowledge or skill, but like I don't lose because I didn't have enough with Ryu. I just played the match wrong. He feels solid and fun to play, and because of these changes, I'm kind of able to to naturally do my combos without having to think so hard about my routes. And the fact that I get a free safe jump, I feel like I'm one of the cast. I'm one of us, one of them. And you guys know that Ryu hits like a freaking train, man. One jump in with Ryu and he gets the fattest combo, especially when he has level 3. And having the buff solo plexus as well too, and his plus on block, it just feels good to play Ryu. It feels fun, it feels natural. But let's talk about the not so good, the bad, or however you want to look at it. I feel like Ryu still suffers from his stubby normals. If you're not throwing the fireball game and you want to stay mid-range, you lose to a lot of characters who have greater buttons at mid-range. Maybe that was their way to balance him out, but like if you look at Guile or even Ken, they have some great normals and they have a good way of zoning. Maybe not Ken so much, but Guile for sure. Guile could zone and he has some great buttons at neutral as well too to poke and get some damage in. And I'm not sure why they still didn't adjust his crouch immediate kick. Maybe they want to compensate for how much damage Ryu can get off of a combo string, but his crouch immediate kick is still 8 frames versus Ken's 7 frames. When you look at characters like Ken, he does massive damage, especially off of a crouch immediate kick, and he gets massive corner carry as well too, so it just doesn't really make sense for me why Ryu can't have that. Even with all these changes with Ryu, with his fixes, especially with the Denjin, I feel like he's still behind the Street Fighter 6 meta. You know, when you look at characters like Jury and DJ who have really fast drive rushes, and Jury can do fireball into drive rush, it's kind of like, you know, Ryu has to deal with it. He can't do the same thing, but he has to deal with those things. I still wish there was some more ways to convert into super. I feel like my combos have to be very situational in order to end with the right super. When you look at characters like Akuma who could do the same combo that you've been doing throughout the whole match, but then end it with a level 1, 2, or 3, it makes things a lot easier for Akuma to close out. But with Ryu, you have to be very specific on the combo routes that you choose in order to use the correct super. So even though there was a buff to the Hashigeki in the season 1.5 balance patch, I feel like now people got used to that setup, so they're able to react with the EXDP or a perfect parry, so it kind of nullifies that whole thing. But Ryu does feel overall better. I feel like his toolkit is complete and it feels like a solid all-around character. Probably the #1 question that people have been asking me is Ryu viable now? Is he the best Shoto? To be honest, I can't really answer that question right now. Do I feel like he's better than Ken? When I fight Ken with Ryu, I feel like we're kind of on par. But what makes Ken great is his ability to corner carry and his really fast startup on his crouch and medium kick and his great neutrals. Ryu has some of those, but he's still lacking in the neutral area and the slower crouch and medium kick. Akuma is just way too early to tell. I've been watching a lot of Akuma gameplay and also trying out Akuma myself. He does have high damage output, but as you know, he has the lowest life in the game. And his combo routes are really simple and really easy. And it's so natural to go into his supers from his light Tatsu setup. Now, should you play Ryu? That one, again, I can't answer for you. Honestly, I play Ryu because I have fun with him, so I encourage you guys to just play a character that you have fun with, not because they're the best, especially if you're not like a pro player. If you're just grinding ranked or playing with friends or just having a good time with people on Discord or in Battle Hub, just play the game, just have fun. So even though Ryu is the base character of the game, he takes a lot of skill and patience to master. He has a lot of easy combo routes that you can do, especially when you want to go into level 3. But if you want to get the nuances of fighting games, I feel like Ryu excels in that area, so he's hard to master. I think Ryu will teach you some fundamentals that might be missing in your gameplay. But again, this is Street Fighter 6. The meta has completely changed, and I just don't think Ryu is all the way there yet. But if you don't care about that, and you just identify with the character like I do, then just play him. But overall, I feel like the buffs helped him out a lot, and he feels like a solid, again, complete character. But he's still trailing behind the other characters right now that are considered strong, and I want to see what Capcom changes, or if there's going to be any changes to Ryu. But if you guys want to learn Ryu, I have a ton of Ryu guides, and they're still applicable right now, even though they're Season 2. A lot of the B&Bs are still the same. There's just a few new combo routes that you could do, and everything else is kind of the same. And if you want to join the Discord because you want to fight more people, or just want to hang out with some like-minded people, join ours. It's free. The link is below. If you want to ask me any more questions, catch me live on twitch.tv/AMKIDD or here on YouTube at youtube.com/AMKIDDFGC. Anyways, that's it for now. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. GG's, and I'll see you later. Peace. Oh, wait.